Hi guys, Oklahoma KLR here with a subject that I am really excited about. I've been wanting to do a video on this for a little while. I wanted to talk to you about the Oklahoma Adventure Trail. Now, I would guess probably none of you have ever heard of the Oklahoma Adventure Trail because it is just in the stages of getting started. What had happened was last year, well, let's start before that. I had this idea quite a while back of building a route that would circle Oklahoma, that was primarily dirt roads, gravel roads, unimproved roads, and it hit small towns and went through some of the coolest off the beaten path things you could see in Oklahoma. Now, I was kind of jealous of some of the other states that had these cool trails, and so I wanted to work on something like that for Oklahoma, but I didn't know where to start. So I'm in the Oklahoma section in the regional forums on ADV Rider, and I kind of mentioned it in a post saying that I really wanted to build this route. Bam, like 10 minutes later, I get a PM in my inbox, and the guy, which I didn't know at the time, his name is Daddy Yama, something like that, and he's gonna have to forgive me, I can't pronounce it. His name's Peter. His real name is Peter, we'll go with that. Peter PMs me and he says, man, I've had the same idea, I want to do it, how do we do it? And so we kind of talked. I gave him some of my background, he gave me some of his, and it looked like he was going to be kind of the knowledge source. He had done some really cool rides where he set a goal if he wanted to ride in every county in Oklahoma, which is a pretty big undertaking. And so he went out and he did it in multiple rides, but he had basically been in every county in Oklahoma and seen a lot of the really cool stuff it had to offer. So we decided we were going to sit down and make a list of things we wanted to go to. And we wanted it to go to pretty much the entire state, maybe not the Panhandle, we couldn't really work that into it. But we wanted it to be a loop. Now the reason we wanted it to be a loop was things like the TAT and stuff like that, or the Continental Divide, those are great rides. But they have a start and they have a finish. And if you live near the finish, it's going to be really difficult for you to want to drive all the way to the start and ride all the way back. Or if you're right in the middle, or, you know, things like that. And so we decided a loop would be the best. You could start anywhere you wanted to, you could finish anywhere you wanted to, and there would be plenty of major highways to get you back where you needed to go. If you could only do, like, say, half of it or something. So we sat down and made this list. And where we started was we just kind of drew a big loop and we hit all these spots that we wanted to. You know, the salt plains to, you know, Frog Rock, which you guys not from Oklahoma aren't going to know what these things are really. To by the Tulsa region, the northeastern Oklahoma, it's pretty wooded and, you know, green, whereas you go over to like the western, holy moly, it's bumpy. You go over to like the western side of Oklahoma and it's flat, it's open, you know, country land. And, you know, we wanted to include some of the mountains in the southeastern Oklahoma. We wanted it to hit all those major sites. And we were both really seeing eye to eye on this thing, as everything was really working out well. We made a first draft and we talked about it, we kind of changed some stuff. And this went back and forth for about a month. And I was working on Garmin Basecamp on it and using a lot of websites that have like photos that are that show the GPS locations, so you can see what is in what areas. Well, anyway, so we decide to kind of go public with it. And so we put a thread up on ADV Rider, and the thread was in the GPS kind of laying down track section to where we could share GPX files. And we basically said, this is what we're trying to do. Here's the file. It's free. Anybody can mess with it and write it. Anybody can check it out and see what they think. Just we ask one thing: leave us feedback, tell us what needs to change, and help with the project. Pretty simple, right? We knew that there would be no way for us to be able to ride the entire thing, make all the changes, and know where everything it was that was off the beaten path without some local knowledge. So that's where the, asking everybody in Oklahoma to help. Well, we didn't really figure anybody was going to jump up and go ride it right off the bat. I didn't really figure when I had the idea that anybody was ever going to ride it. I kind of figured it would be my deal to go explore Oklahoma, and that was it. Well, anyway, these two guys, both on BMW 650 GSs. One of them, I believe his screen name is Croppier, and the other was Kilted Crawford, I believe. Now, I'm going to put a link down in the comments to the thread. So if you're interested, you can always download it and check it out and see what you think. Like I said, it's completely free. So these guys decided they got a weekend off work. They're going to go try to ride the thing. And it's long. It's like 1,400 miles. So one of them has a sooner deadline than the other, so he had to split out early. But they were able to give us some awesome feedback about what roads were closed, what roads were good, what roads were bad, what sections to avoid. And we actually got some really good feedback from that, and we rerouted quite a bit on it from the first draft. And the drafts were changing a lot. We were probably putting a new draft of the file up once every 2 weeks or so. And so that brings us to today, where the file is still being modified, still being, figured out, thought out, and rode around by guys. Now, a lot of people have rode different hunks. Like let's say you live in Stillwater, you may be able to ride from, let's say, Perry to North Tulsa or something, but you may not ride the entire route around Oklahoma. And that's helped us out quite a bit because those people have local knowledge of those areas. I was in the western Oklahoma, so I kind of worked on the route while I was out there. Oh man, that's washboard right there. I'm going to try to dodge that. And then I moved up to northern Oklahoma, and so now I'm kind of not near the route per se. I'm like, probably 40 minutes on the highway away from where the closest place the route is, which is not that big of a deal because I plan on making it better where I'm at. I am kind of in my head, I have this schedule to go ride this route sometime next year. Hopefully spring of next year. It may not happen, but that's kind of what my plan is. Or at least I want to ride a big hunk. I've rode out in western Oklahoma. I've rode here in northern Oklahoma. But I haven't really been able to put too much effort into riding in northeastern Oklahoma or eastern Oklahoma. So that's probably where I would focus. Would be eastern Oklahoma. I would probably, if I was going to ride just a hunk, that's probably where I would go. But like I said, if you live out here, of course you're not going to be just riding that hunk up there. Great, I got to eat some more dust. Those are those guys that were down here smoking pot earlier. Okay. So anyway, that's your introduction to the Oklahoma Adventure Trail. If your state does not have a routed out trail for you guys to go ride, to kind of explore, that may be something you want to consider doing. you know, but I would suggest you look and see, maybe explore over an ADV rider and see if somebody's already working on it, because where you're at could be a big help to somebody else who is trying to do something in your state. If you haven't checked it out, of course, check out the Trans-American Trail and the Continental Divide. Both really cool trails. Those both really support the dual sporting community. If you like the video, please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. If you like the idea, let me know. You know, like the video or put it in the comments. Let me know that you like the idea of what we're trying to accomplish. If you think it's stupid, let me know. Tell me what you think. I'm always curious to hear your ideas. I won't change my opinion, obviously, but you know, I'm always curious to see what my subscribers are thinking. So, again, thanks for watching. Have a good one.